occurred in just 28 days, roughly 1 in every 388 adults. This is not an abstract number. It could be your neighbor, your friend, or even you. Many compare this to the financial crisis of 2008. But there is a difference. In 2008, the collapse happened in distant financial institutions. In 2026, it is happening at the kitchen table, through the price of food, fuel, and survival. An 18% increase in bankruptcies compared to 2025 shows that traditional safeguards are failing. Bankruptcy is no longer tied to reckless decisions. It is tied to basic survival. Debt relief orders are rising, reflecting a harsh truth. Many people have nothing left to sell, nothing left to mortgage. Unlike previous crises, there are no massive support packages to cover the cracks. Those cracks have now turned into deep chasms. A lifetime of hard work is no longer a guarantee of security. Instead, it often ends with an average debt of £9,500. This quiet collapse is reshaping society, eroding confidence, and replacing stability with anxiety. At the center of this crisis lies a global trigger, the Strait of Hormuz. A narrow passage thousands of miles away is now determining the price of fuel in cities like Manchester and Birmingham. The surge in oil prices has driven transportation costs to extreme levels, exposing the fragility of the just-in-time supply chain. What was once efficient has become dangerously brittle. Fertilizer shortages, disrupted supply chains, and rising logistics costs have locked in higher food prices before goods even reach the shelves. The convenience we once relied on was built on a fragile system, and that system is now under strain. As fuel prices rise, so does fear. And fear spreads faster than any virus. Empty shelves trigger panic. Panic drives hoarding. Hoarding creates real shortages. This vicious cycle has turned ordinary consumers into desperate competitors. Social media amplifies the chaos. Images of scarcity fuel more panic, creating a powerful feedback loop. Even official reassurances often backfire, signaling that the situation may be worse than it appears. Fear has become an invisible tax, pushing prices even higher. Trust between people is eroding. Communities are beginning to fracture. At the same time, a new reality has emerged: survival through debt. An estimated 27% of households are now borrowing just to afford food. Buy now pay later services for essential goods are booming, a clear sign of systemic strain. With interest rates holding at 3.75%, the financial trap tightens. People are borrowing at high rates to buy already inflated goods. The result is a spiral. Rising prices lead to panic, panic leads to stockpiling, stockpiling leads to debt, and debt leads to bankruptcy. Missed payments are rising. Credit scores are collapsing. The average debt burden continues to grow. In some areas, informal and dangerous. Lending is beginning to replace traditional financial systems. The middle class, the backbone of society, is under severe pressure. Millions of families now have no savings, no safety net, and no protection against future shocks. The wealth gap is no longer about luxury. It is about access to basic necessities like food and energy. Psychological stress is soaring, accounting for nearly half of all sick leave cases. Confidence in the system is breaking down. For the first time, many fear they will be poorer than their parents. This crisis did not happen by accident. It is the result of three major failures. First, overdependence on foreign energy. A global disruption instantly paralyzes the domestic economy. Second, a welfare system designed for stable conditions, not stagflation. Wage increases cannot keep pace with rising costs, leaving households exposed. Third, outdated communication strategies. In the digital age, unclear messaging fuels panic instead of calming it. Together, these failures have created a perfect storm. Looking ahead, the outlook remains uncertain. Economic growth is expected to stay low, while bankruptcies may continue to rise as debts come due. The path forward will not come from temporary solutions. It requires structural change, stronger domestic food systems, reduced dependence on foreign energy, and meaningful financial protections for households. The shift toward renewable energy is no longer just an environmental goal. It has become a matter of economic survival. The United Kingdom that emerges from this crisis may be poorer and slower, but perhaps more realistic and more resilient. Stability may no longer come from large systems, but from local communities and self-reliance. In the end, this crisis is not just economic. It is a test of trust, between institutions, between neighbors, and within ourselves. If everything we rely on disappeared tomorrow, what would truly sustain us? Stockpiles or relationships? Your experiences and perspectives matter. Share them, because in times like these, understanding and connection may be the only stability we have left. If you found value in this, consider liking the video so it can reach others facing the same uncertainty. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more insights into the hidden realities shaping our world. Disclaimer. This content is based on data analysis, economic assumptions, and publicly available reports regarding the United Kingdom's financial situation in 2026. It is intended for informational and storytelling purposes only and should not be considered financial, legal, or investment advice. Viewers should make decisions based on their own circumstances. We are not responsible for any losses resulting from the use of this information.